While every decade has produced its fair share of romantic flicks, only the 80s came equipped with colorful spandex and banging new wave soundtracks.
We dance?
Wouldn't be unheard of.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 romance movies of the 1980s.
There is so much to say. I cannot find the words. Except for these. I love you.
For this list, we'll be looking at films that fit squarely in the romance genre. So romantic dramas and comedies are okay. But movies that are first and foremost thrillers, biopics, or comedies with romantic side plots will not be considered.
What the hell happened to you?
I really don't know where to start.
Your hair's different.
Ma, everything is different.
Number 10. Flashdance.
How did you do it?
I took a deep breath and jumped.
Sometimes love can emerge from the most unexpected of places. Alex, a steelworker by day and stripper by night, dreams of becoming a professional dancer. One night, she catches the eye of Nick, a customer at the club she dances at.
I'm Nick Hurley.
Really? I've seen your name on my paycheck.
Alex soon realizes Nick owns the factory she works at, and the two begin to develop feelings for one another. Filled with iconic 80s costumes and a soundtrack to match, this sexy romance flick was a box office smash. Noted for its steamy dance scenes and unique subject matter, this film remains one of the hottest of the decade.
When I realized that, somehow it made it easier for me to do what I had to do.
What was that?
Let go.
Number 9. Out of Africa.
If you say anything now, I believe it.
Based on the autobiographical novel of the same name, this epic romance focuses on the experiences of Karen Dinesen, a Danish woman who leaves her home to start a dairy farm in Africa, but ends up with a coffee plantation instead. Ignored by her husband, Karen strikes up a relationship with the fiercely independent big game hunter, Dennis Finch Hatton.
Karen, I'm with you because I choose to be with you. I don't want to live someone else's idea of how to live.
This film is a sweeping declaration to both the beauty of the land and the romance it inspired. Filled with moments of tense drama and unbridled emotion, this impossible love story was an instant hit with audiences worldwide.
You've ruined it for me, you know.
Ruined what?
Being alone.
It also goes to show that Meryl Streep and Robert Redford were quite the sizzling pair in their primes.
Will that hurt?
Number 8. A Room with a View.
Do you understand how lucky people are when they find what's right for them? It's such a blessing, don't you see?
Set in turn of the 20th century Italy and based on the 1908 novel, the young and impressionable Lucy falls for the free-spirited and devilishly handsome George. However, Lucy's older cousin, and a symbol of Victorian-era sexual repression, is determined to keep them apart.
In my small way, I am a woman of the world, and I know where things can lead to.
The film oozes romance as the characters waltz through beautiful Italian cobblestone streets and frolic in the serene English countryside. As she slowly begins to shed the restrictions of her overbearing relative, Lucy struggles with her feelings for the carefree George.
You love George. You love the boy body and soul, as he loves you.
But of course I do. What did you all think?
An intelligent film that focuses on issues that plague star-crossed lovers in a time of emotional oppression, A Room with a View is a seminal piece of romantic storytelling.
I can't think what came over me.
That's perfectly natural. I nearly fainted myself.
Number 7. Moonstruck.
I'm in love with you.
Snap out of it!
Filled to the brim with eccentric performances and wit to match, this classic 80s oddball romance connected immediately with theatergoers and critics alike.
Will you marry me?
Yes, Johnny.
Loretta, a Sicilian-American woman working as an accountant in Brooklyn, is all set to marry her boyfriend Johnny. That is, until she unexpectedly falls in love with his brother Ronnie, a baker with an enthusiasm for the opera.
Would you like to go someplace so we could talk? I have no life. Excuse me? I have no life. My brother Johnny took my life from me.
Connected by their shared desire to understand why men chase women, Loretta and everyone she knows are in one way or another besieged by the power of love.
I love two things. I love you and I love the opera. Now, if I can have the two things that I love together for one night, I would be satisfied to give up, oh Christ, to give up the rest of my life.
All right.
Taking home a number of Oscars, including Best Actress and Best Original Screenplay, this film proves that you never know how or when love will fall into your lap.
The past and the future is a joke to me now. I see that they're nothing. I see they ain't here. The only thing that's here is you and me.
Number 6, An Officer and a Gentleman.
Would you like to get a drink?
Sure.
Falling in love is never easy, and neither is trying to become a U.S. naval officer. Played by the always dreamy Richard Gere, Zach Mayo wants nothing more than to become a first-rate Navy pilot. However, his tough-as-nails drill instructor is willing to push his physical and mental limits to get him there.
Your blood is red as mine, isn't it, Mayo?
Along the way, Zach begins a tumultuous relationship with local factory girl Paula. The two must battle military and family sentiments in order to achieve their heart's desires.
So, Zach, what do you do with the girl when you're through with her, huh? You say something or you just disappear? Huh?
I never had a girl.
A story that places the importance of love and respect above all else. This film is packed with gut-wrenching moments that ultimately lead to an unforgettably romantic ending. Number 5, The Princess Bride.
I will always come for you.
But how can you be sure?
This is true love. You think this happens every day?
Endlessly quotable, side-splittingly funny, and hopelessly romantic. This film leapt off the screen and into the hearts of audiences faster than you can say
Inconceivable!
Following the epic romance of Buttercup and her farm boy Wesley, the Princess Bride traverses the fictional country of Florin as Wesley battles wits and strength in an attempt to reclaim Buttercup from the clutches of an evil prince.
I love Wesley. I always have. I know now I always will. If you tell me I must marry you in 10 days, please believe I will be dead by morning.
At the core of the film is true love. Finding it, losing it, and fighting to get it back.
You could die too for all I care.
Oh! As you wish.
Oh, my sweet Wesley.
This romantic adventure takes audiences up the cliffs of insanity and through the fire swamp in order to hammer home the idea that true love is the one thing worth dying for.
Death cannot stop true love. All it can do is delay it for a while.
I will never doubt again.
There will never be a need.
Number 4, Pretty in Pink.
Just want to let them know that they didn't break me.
In the 1980s, there was one writer-director with his hand on the pulse of every teen in America, John Hughes. Having already written and directed 1984's 16 Candles, Hughes was no stranger to the high school love triangle. In this film, working-class Andy Walsh falls for the dreamy rich boy Blake McDonough. Meanwhile, Andy's best friend Ducky secretly longs to be with her.
You know you're talking like that just because I'm going out with Blaine.
Blaine? His name is Blaine? Oh, that's a major appliance. That's not a name.
While the film is far from sexy, it's an honest look at what happens when three people get entangled in a complicated romance.
Feel any better if I asked you to the prom? I mean, I know the prom's kind of lame, so if you don't want to go, it's really no big deal.
With its outlandishly 80s style and stellar soundtrack, this film cemented itself as one of the most popular romantic comedy dramas of the decade.
Blaine?
Number 3, Say Anything.
Are you shaking?
No.
You're shaking.
Even if you've never seen the film, chances are you can picture John Cusack standing in front of a car, sporting a beige trench coat with the sleeves rolled up, and proudly holding a boombox high above his head.
All my instincts, they return. The grand facade, so soon will burn.
While that scene is easily the most famous to emerge from this 80s love story, the movie is so much more. When kickboxing enthusiast Lloyd falls for valedictorian Diane, sparks fly. However, her overbearing father wants nothing to do with his daughter's newest infatuation.
You're not a permanent part of her life. You're a distraction. I'm the distraction that's going with her to England, sir.
Dubbed one of the best films of the year by Roger Ebert himself, Say Anything pulled at the heartstrings of audiences and closed out the decade on a romantic high note.
I love you. How many more times do I have to say it?
One more time would be nice.
I love you.
Number 2. Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Having the time of your life has never been so sexy. Spending the summer at a lavish resort in the Catskill Mountains, Frances Baby Houseman becomes enamored with bad boy dance instructor Johnny Castle. Together with her new passionate lover, Baby rebels against the authority figures dominating her life and experiences the ultimate summer fling. Filled with scenes of unbridled emotion and downright steamy dance scenes, this 80s romance flick shocked the movie world by becoming a box office smash.
Dance with me.
Well, here?
With both leads earning high praise for their performances and the film winning an Oscar for Best Original Song, Dirty Dancing left a lasting impression on the romance genre and film as a whole and continues to do so today. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Right now the whole country's out of work.
Well, then we'll live on love. We'll have to make some concessions, but so what? We'll have each other.
That's movie talk.
I couldn't stop thinking about you. I even read one of your books.
Then you know how they all end.
All the time we were together, you always knew how I was feeling. Can't you tell now?
Number 1. When Harry Met Sally.
You realize, of course, that we could never be friends.
Why not?
This seminal take on the romance genre spit the raw truth of what it's like when a man and a woman attempt to be just friends.
Are we becoming friends now?
Well, yeah.
The titular characters first start to really get to know each other while sharing a ride from Chicago to New York in the late 70s. From there, they weave in and out of each other's lives at random, sharing lengthy conversations about their views on sex and relationships.
You go dancing, you do the white man's overbite, go back to her place, you have sex, and the minute you're finished, you know what goes through your mind? How long do I have to lie here and hold her before I can get up and go home?
Played to perfection by Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, these two unique personalities clash at nearly every turn. However, beneath their hard exteriors lies a profound love and admiration for one another.
You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you. And I hate you, Harry. I really hate you.
Bitter and sweet at all the right moments, this film gave new meaning to the phrase, "I'll have what she's having."
Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite romance movie of the 1980s?
Since the invention of the kiss, there have been 5 kisses that were rated the most passionate, the most pure. This one left them all behind.
For more entertaining top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
Kiss me again.
I'm reading.
Again.